And welcome back, everyone, to a special birthday What If for Dennis Servin. Yeah, this doesn't really match the topic, but it was a decent thumbnail. I wasn't really in the mood to turn Saitama into Naruto and paste a head on a body. So, what if, as we've done Goku breaking his limiter, what if Naruto broke his limiter, a la Saitama's style, during the 3 years time skip where he trained with Jiraya? So, to answer this question, first and foremost, how powerful Naruto is, we have to kind of gauge what this would mean in the context of a Naruto verse. With Saitama, he's a normal human who broke his limiter. This means that he has no upper ceiling now. He does say that he can't get any stronger. So that does mean there is some sort of limitation he's at right now, but we just haven't seen the full limitation of that. But as it stands, Saitama can literally blow away galaxies with a punch. Mind you, Cosmic Garo was also half of that, but still, half of that was still him blowing away galaxies with a punch. Capable of moving at speeds incomprehensible, being able to survive a vacuum, no problem. Actually copying abilities on sight, including the ability to travel in time. But that's a normal human. Now with Goku, when we did that, Saiyan's have greater upper limits than Saitama. Like, he literally is a multiversal level threat. So what happens when you break the limiter on someone like that? Naruto, for the most part, Naruto is just human. But in the Naruto world, he does have traits that are beyond normal human. For example, Chakra, What does breaking your limit on Chakra mean? What does breaking your limit when you have a tail beast inside you mean? What does that mean if you have a seal? Does the seal break? So my answer to these are as such. Let's talk about the seal first. Does Naruto breaking his limiter mean he breaks the seal? No, the seal is a separate thing. It keeps Kurama's chakra at bay, and it siphons some of that into his body. Okay, wonderful, great. What does it mean for? So it's physical. So right now we're looking at a Saitama Naruto who can literally break solar systems. So there's that. But what about his chakra, though? So I don't think, for example, Naruto just gains access to every chakra nature imaginable. That's not breaking your limit with your chakra. That's adding and training. That's not how that works. But what it would probably do is amp his chakra and basically give him chakra that even dwarfs the Nine Tails at this point. Even dwarfs the 10 Tails. So now his chakra literally overpowers Kurama's. So there's actually like no point now of the fox being sealed inside of him, except to keep the fox from hurting people. Now, unfortunately, breaking the limiter does not mean he maintains a good amount. Because chakra control is a tricky subject, especially with Naruto, who never had very good chakra control to begin with. Even when he was able to gain some chakra control, it's always been nerfed. It's always been kind of counteracted by Kurama's chakra always kind of leaking in there, merging in there. Think about this, actually. Naruto, in theory, the way the chakra seal works, Naruto, in theory, will always have a growing amount of chakra. Even when Kurama died, if Kurama stayed in Naruto, even though Naruto had burned away a large portion of his chakra, the way the seal is designed, well, to be fair, the seal had been undone at that point, so actually that would not have worked. I was about to say his chakra reserve would have replenished eventually, but because Kurama's chakra constantly leaking. But by Boruto, they had gotten rid of the seal. They were a perfect Jinchuriki compare. But the point being is that because of that, it's, again, I've always used the analogy. It's like it's easier to control less of something than it is to control more of something. And so the more of something you have, the expertise it takes to control it is greater. So if you have more of something and you're an expert at controlling it, your control over something is much greater. Say you have a baseball worth of water and a baseball size worth of rice in your hand versus a softball size amount of rice in your hand. It's easier to keep the baseball size amount of rice in your hand from leaking and dropping than it is the softball amount. Basic concept. And so, unfortunately, the trade-off essentially would be Naruto. I'll be honest, I don't think Naruto could use the rest, even though I used this image. And I'm really now regretting using this image because I'm like, Naruto wouldn't be able to use the Rasengan. Naruto's chakra control got better as the series went on, absolutely, but if he's literally got like almost nigh infinite chakra now because he broke his limiter, and this is assuming we go with the idea that he broke his limiter with his chakra as well, because again, limitations on the body are different in Naruto because you also have chakra to work with. It would also include possibly the gates, like I'd imagine all of his gates, save for the gate of death, are just opened at this point, or at least like the 3 gates that are just like forcefully opened. I'd imagine that opening them would mean, and that actually would be a problem if because you don't have the gates in Saitama, this world. In theory, if he broke his limiter, he might accidentally kill himself because of the 8th gate and the gates of death. They are literally limiters on the chakra system and on the body. I didn't even consider that. There's like a legitimate shot in this world that if you had someone trying to pull a Saitama, they'd straight out die. Like if Saitama tried to do his shit in this world, he'd be like, oh, I'm super sorry, and then all of a sudden his blood is boiling out of his body. Well, that's not good. Oh, like he'd be powerful like for a minute. Okay, that's a good question. Does that hurt this entire concept? A little? In fact, I'd argue yes. The only thing he could have going for him is that Kurama could maybe heal him up. But that's assuming the Fox even tries to do that. Because the Fox even said, if you die, I die. But at the same time, he also knows he'll just reform somewhere later if Naruto dies. Oh, okay. I'm gonna paint 2 scenarios here because this is a one-shot what if. We'll put 2 scenarios here. What if it killed Naruto doing that first off? Because I think there's a legitimate shot for this world that breaking your limiter kills you, like straight out kills you, because of just again chakra and the 8 gates. So if he died, and News got around of that, and then the Nine-Tails, we don't know how long, by the way, it would take in the Nine-Tails to reform. I think they said like a couple of months to a year or so. We know with Himawari that it took a year at least, or maybe not a year, but it took a while as Kurama was regaining his strength in Himawari. So it also would depend on when Naruto broke his limiter. Let's just say halfway. So when Jiraya's like, when Jiraya realizes, oh God, what have I done? He immediately comes back to the village and they're like, Jiraya, you're back early. Where's Naruto? And he's like, there's something you need to know. I'm not saying Jiraya would be murdered. I'm saying he'd have his 3rd near-death experience because Tsunade would beat him within the millimeter of his life, not an inch, not a centimeter, a millimeter of his life. And as he's just like near dying, she heals him up just enough to be conscious so he can answer the questions she asks. What happened, you son of a bitch? He's like, and so the Nine-Tails would reform outside the village somewhere, which means Naruto's not a target. Obito, we know, was able to put the Nine-Tails under a Genjutsu once. He'd do it again. And honestly, they would up their plans immensely. They'd either send Pain after. Honestly, he'd probably go after the Nine-Tails himself because he has the Sharingan to do so. And then Pain will go after B. Now, actually, it's a very good question. Do we because B, Naruto, and Itachi fought Nagato, and it took basically them to do so and beat him. But do we think B could beat Nagato on his own? Could beat Pain on his own? He is a perfect Jinchuriki. Debatable. I'm not 100% sure on that, to be honest. He definitely put up a good fight, that's for certain. He wouldn't be able to really do much against Shinra Tensei, though. And Predapath would be able to absorb Chakra, no problem. Animal Path would be annoying. Then if he Chibaku Tenseis him and seals him, he's in trouble. I mean, let me put it this way. If Kisame could beat him, and it's debatable whether or not Kisame could beat Pain. It's the Devon Path Kisame would have the biggest problem with. And possibly the Predapath as well. I'll say this. I think, yeah, they could take Killer B. And if they can take Killer B, Obito can certainly take the Nine-Tails. Yeah, they summon the 10 Tails. Nagato is deceived. by Obito. It goes 6 paths to do the Infinite Tsukuyomi. And then obviously Madara and Zetsu play his ass, resurrect Madara. He becomes the 6th pass, only for Akage to come out of him eventually. And then everyone's effed. So, yeah. If we're going in that alternate reality where Naruto breaking his limiter kills him, and again, based on Naruto biology, between physical biology and Gates, that's a legitimate reality. Then it's the bleakest timeline scenario. Let's say, for the sake of argument, though, it does not kill him. What happens now, then? Naruto comes back, and you basically have someone who isn't going to be Saitama's like, oh, hey, bored, whatever. He is still going to try. He's actually had now learned to hold his strength back, just like even doing that could flick someone's head off. And so, like, for example, when he fights Kakashi, he tries very hard to not hurt him, but Kakashi is still a ninja and still capable of keeping him at bay. Sakura, and when Sakura tries to hit him at points, what she still does, he doesn't move. She's like, what? It's like, oh, Sakura, come on, Sakura. Like, for example, when she hits him the first time he comes back, like, my new pervy ninjutsu, which I don't think he'd have here. So I actually don't think he does it, but let's just say he does say that. Maybe he can still do that. His chakra control is just gone at this point. He just, boom, she just, boom. What? It's like, Sakura, as much as I like your hands on me, stop. So there's that. Then, let's just, we're going to speed through every arc here, basically. Naruto would blitz the Itachi fast. Although he still would not have any answer to Genjutsu. So he's immediately pissed under the Genjutsu, but the minute he gets out of it, just pops him. Done. Then him versus Deidara, he just rushes, grabs Deidara, boom, just blasts him with air, just done. Now the question is, could Kurama's influence still influence him? Because of just the sheer difference in chakra now, I'm gonna say no. No, because he's now kind of just a monster of chakra compared. Like, he is truly a god among chakra. Even like the Otsutsuki or Otsutskis are like, what the hell is this man? So yeah, he quickly takes down Deidara. Like, I think he could just squish him out of existence. Then there's the whole Sasuke thing, and he just says, give Sasuke back. Or what? And then he just beats the living shit out of her. Again, just poof. Like, Naruto's not even like, I am God. And I think Naruto would start to be getting a big head on him at this point. That's the problem here for him versus Saitama, who's just a regular guy who got power, and now it's like, oh, well, okay, cool. Now it's like, the power of is like, no one can stop. Now, I'm not saying he's going to go evil or anything like that, but it's like, he's going to get cocky. Now, that being said, he looks now Orochimaru probably is able to survive through substitution or whatever, and they maybe try to, like, they escape, like, we can't take what has happened to Naruto over these years, that boy. And then Sasuke comes in and is like, no, and he just knocks him out. And so they take Sasuke back. It's like, no, you will not. And then Naruto finally just had it with it, just pops him out of existence. Mind you, he can't use it. No, you know what it is? Here's the thing. I think he can use the Rasengan. But instead of one clone, he's got like a dozen clones to make one Rasengan. Because he's got so much chakra now. But it's not like a giant one. He just zips with a giant Rasengan. So he just like annihilates or incinerates Orochimaru out of existence along with Kabuto. By the way, we're just having fun with this now because it's a ridiculous premise. It really is. Because of what we know, how strong we know these individuals can get. In Saitama, for example. Turn Naruto essentially into Saitama with chakra and shadow clones. So, Naruto, so they get Sasuke back. He's pretty much incarcerated at this point for arguably life because he hasn't done anything to warrant pardons or anything like that. Then you get Naruto aiding Team 9 with dealing with Kakuzu. This is going to be a lot of it. Now, the thing that would maybe change up a bit here is the Itachi thing. He actually meets with Naruto to discuss things. Talk about what happened. Naruto, you got very strong indeed. Look after my brother. And maybe gives him his eyes, implants Koto Amatsukame in him. Whatever. So I think maybe that is a scenario that happens in this because Sasuke's been brought back. And he knows he'll die and he needs his eyes to be protected. And so he does that. And he probably goes to Sasuke, talk about Itachi, what happened. And Sasuke, you were lying, and he shows the eyes. Like, no, he's kind of like Sasuke's like, what do I do now? It's like you could honor his. It's like I don't know, but you got to make that choice. You could honor his memory, what he tried to stand for, or you can just lay there wallowing in self pity. I don't care. And the eyes are kept safe for the while. So Obito's like, the Nine Tails needs to be brought in. You will do it now. We know Saitama can survive intense gravity because of the alien that was like one of the heads of Boros's army. Like he didn't even feel it. And it can survive in a vacuum. We can assume Naruto can do this too. So when pain comes in, Naruto finds out Jiraiya is dead. Naruto's very sad. Boo-hoo. Does he go to try to learn Sage Mode? I mean, he tries. I'll be honest. There's no way in hell he can do it. But not in this version. So he fails to do it, which is fine. There's no even reason for him to even learn the wind chakra style or nature. They go back. He just rushes in. He just comes in and just blitzes the paths of pain without too much difficulty. Just squash. Then goes to Nagato. Now he doesn't squash him. He probably has a conversation with Nagato about his mentor and master. And Talk no Jutsu's him out of that. Now, someone might ask, as someone has been asking the most in the Gaara Naruto one, could Obito come and jailbreak Sasuke out? He could, and there's a good chance he might, because he feels like, okay, I'm going to need him for something. I think this will probably be for the best. And so he agreed, and maybe even manages to find the eyes to steal them and plants them in Sasuke. After telling him the real truth about the Konoha, the Uchiha massacre, and he says, get me out of here. And they get out of there, and then he plants the eyes. Woohoo, he's got an eternal Mangeki now. And then the Kage Summon happens. Sasuke is recovering. I think, honestly, he just declares war on them. There's no real struggles. Is Danzo still in charge here? Maybe. But unfortunately, he does also get found out, so he goes on the run, and then Obito would probably end up taking him out. Which then leads you to the war arc. So, you need to learn to control the Nine Tails power. I do? Okay. Naruto eventually just overwhelms Kurama, gets KCM1, which is cool, but if anything, all it's doing is really amping his speed and giving him more chakra and stuff like that. So now he doesn't need the clones, he can make those arms. So when he eventually joins the war, he just obliterates. Now, the thing is, he does not have the ability to seal away the Edo Tensei. Just doesn't have that ability. So it is a little tough, a little tougher for him to deal with. They keep coming back, but he just Zetsu just killed. Edo Tensei's he handles. Even the meteor just rushes, smashes it with just sheer strength. Everyone's just like, whoa. Yeah, Madara is like, impressive. So he's just dealing with the Edo Tensei Jinchuriki. And then, just smacking him around. Now, does he gain the Nine Tails respect here? Actually, yeah, I could possibly see him doing that. I really could. Because I'd like to deal with all that hate in you someday. Because I still think he could do that. I don't see any reason why he couldn't. Not that it really matters. The Tail Beast bombs come out. Kurama says, I can do it. And he's like, should I do the Tail Beast bombs? Like, are you sure I can just do it? And then just boom, blast the Tail Beast bomb. Eventually, Obito tries to take Naruto, but we know Saitama can, in fact, break out of dimensions. So, even if he got him in the Kamui world, it really wouldn't do much. And so, ultimately, he does still gain the 6th path chakra, and then Naruto just poof. Now, granted, it's not like he's not like squish. He's trying to save Obito, unlike some of the other ones. So he's more just beating him around, and Obito just can't hurt this kid. Even using the Truth Seeker orbs, it probably wouldn't do a damn thing against him. again, knowing how strong Saitama became, because that's our benchmark comparison here, there's just no reason to think a Truth Seeker orb would really do anything to him. Like legitimately, the man can survive in the vacuum of space, solar radiation, blowing away galaxies at a time, sort of landing on, I think it was Jupiter or Saturn, whichever planet it was. I don't think the Truth Seeker orbs, despite how they're designed, would do anything. In fact, Naruto can probably easily grab one and crush it. Eventually Obito would get tricked by Madara, and then when he gets brought back, Naruto would just smack him into nothing. Just squish. Like, unlike Obito, he was kind of trying to save, just like, squish. So, yeah. And then Kaguya never really comes. Maybe they use Obito's body instead of Madara's for Kaguya, and then Naruto just squishes again. Just squish. Although, he wouldn't really be gaining a 6th path chakra here. So it's debatable whether or not he. Now, granted, could he move so fast that it wouldn't matter? Probably. Could he just take down the tree if he wanted to? Oh, absolutely. So yeah, there is a scenario where he gets caught in the Genjutsu and it's over, and there's a scenario where he does not get caught in the Genjutsu and it's over for Kaguya. Either way, if Naruto broke his limiter, and then ultimately he still probably marries Hinata, all that. If Naruto broke his limiter, a la Saitama style, the entirety of Shippuden becomes a joke. For him, because he can literally just squish everyone in the series. Like, as much as Saitama, I think, is overhyped in, like, scaling battles, like, for example, to piss all you Saitama fans off, there's no way on God's Green Earth he beats Goku. No way in God's Green Earth he beats Goku. But the man one-shots the entire Naruto verse. Like, he can one-shot the entire verse if he wants to. So, if you made Naruto that strong, add on, like, with Chakra and all that, then there's no hope for anyone who goes up against him, really, unless they're able to put him in such a genjutsu that he's never able to get out of it. And again, that's assuming it doesn't kill him to break his limiters. So, what do you think? This is just a one-shot for a birthday what if, so let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.